I'm writing this for anyone who has never spoken or feeling broken, feeling overwhelmed with sadness, feeling trapped in darkness, looking for a way out, yet there seems like there's none, so you're pretty much done. With a voice inside your head whispering, you got this with the strength on your own, even though you know you're alone. And that you need some sort of guidance like Psalm 23, when David writes, even though I walk through the darkest valley, I will fear no evil, for you are with me, your rod and staff comforts me. The insight you're about to see is evidence of a God who is mighty, who sent Jesus to set me free and saving me upon dying on that cross, and is continuously pursuing me, even in life situations that seem messy. When I was 14, I questioned my existence after learning an unborn child's innocence wasn't a blessing, since my biological mother was stressing over an abortion, but Dad, from a third-person perspective, fought for me like no other, and strongly stood his ground to make sure I was crowned with the love that conquered the judgment of family members who made comments unsupportive of my moment. Only by God's grace I can embrace that He turns every story for His glory. I love reading about Paul, who was Saul, who constantly reminds me to rejoice in the Lord always, especially during days I just don't want to praise, as the occurrence of tragic events cause heartbreak. I was a pro-camouflaging being in a relationship that opposed the voice deep down urging me to let go. But conviction wasn't my addiction, as my direction was reversing back to my default position, putting my identity in the hands of man, like the trust Samson had exchanged with Delilah, enticed into her beauty, yet she saw it as an opportunity to fulfill her greed for money. Desiring God to fill my cup after a breakup and longing for satisfaction wasn't an instant reaction. I had to learn how to discern my needs and wants, laying it all down at the feet of Jesus' cross, submitting not only a part of me, but all of me. And so I was blessed with a community of people who were happily willing to invest in me, pray for me, and genuinely love me. My thirst was quenched, just as Jesus mentions the water He gives springs in me and lasts eternally. The battle after the battle was real, as I tragically lose my dad to a stroke attack. I was conflicted with pain emotionally and mentally drained. Just longing for God to take it away feels just as Job, who pleads help from God, yet feels as if none had come. As I draw myself closer to you, you began to renew my mind and spirit and reminding me I was a new creation in you. You fought for me like no man had ever done before, even afterwards when I lost 2 more family members within that same year. Jesus, you drowned out my doubts. As I grooved to the rhythm, you made me step into new territory that was very unfamiliar but reassuring, that you were redeeming me from the pits of life, telling me to rise for such a time as this. I viewed pain as a gain, relatable to Paul, who sings his praise, even when in chains, counting his life as nothing if he didn't have Christ. The supernatural strength was an overflow of the community bestowed in my life, and to be very honest, saved me the strife, falling deeper into a valley I wouldn't have escaped out of. Being very undeserving of a gift that was having a relationship of a wise counsel of 3, in other words, the Holy Trinity, was more than enough for me, and it provided a joy that would last eternally. The testing of my faith has trained me to trade my hands for war and fingers for battle, so that when the enemy waged war against me, all I had to do was chuck on God's armor suit and be still, and always align my mind with where God wants me to be. I started singing Your Kingdom Come, Your Will Be Done, to the point where I risked leaving my family in not so great terms for the gospel's sake, and traveled to Thailand, taking on board the command Jesus gave, where He says to go and make disciples of all nations. It was not easy, as I internalized how to align myself with where God wanted me to be. Pinnock assured me that following Christ isn't always easy, which was true. I say it's worth it. I was most satisfied because He was glorified every time His name was proclaimed to lost students who had never heard about Jesus before. So can I just encourage you to not dwell on the problem, but the blessing of Jesus from above that will help us overcome. Here is my story, and like my brother Joel had mentioned in our previous takeover, my story is also for His glory.